And it came to pass, in the small town of Beaubickley, that Christmas time was moving in quickly. All the houses were adorned with Christmas festoons, and it was quite clear that Christmas was soon. And in a little house on the north side of town, there lived Clyde, and all year round he looked forward to Christmas. It was quite a cheer. He thought of the plum pie and pudding and bottles of beer. Now Clyde loved his mummy, and Clyde loved his daddy, and his dog Snickersnack, who had grown quite fatty. But there was one thing that bothered him quite a lot. He'd never been hung, murdered, or shot. He'd never seen Pumpkinhead, Frankenstein, or Dracula. He'd never seen the Boogeyman or old Baba Yaga. He was an ignorant child who felt like a fool, and all this not knowing made him very uncool. But the one thing he wanted to see most of all was the great Santa Claus.
Eat, Papa, eat!
But before we get to that part of the story, let's start with the part that's a little more boring.
What would you like me to read today, Clyde? The Sun Never Rises by Marvin O'Gravel Balloonface. Once there was a little boy who lived with his mother on the banks of the great gray, green, greasy Limpopo River, all set about with fever trees. One day he received an invitation to a party of one of his friends. It was to be on the following morning. The next morning, the little boy was being quite obnoxious and not eating his banana split sundae, which quite angered his mom. As the little boy was leaving the room to get dressed for his party, his mom gave him a great kick on the butt, for she was quite wrathful about her banana split sundae. His mom was quickly arrested for child abuse and imprisoned.
Martha, what are you reading?
Be quiet, Gerald. It's almost done. So, dear reader, please be kind to your children. Let little things slide, even if they repeat again. And make sure not to kick your kid in the butt, because something may happen. You never know what.
Martha, what is that?
It's The Sun Never Rises by Marvin O'Gravel Balloonface.
Huh. Sounds familiar.
This is high literature, Gerald. We have to educate our child.
Aren't you supposed to read kids' books to kids?
I read War and Peace when I was 4.
Okay. Let's see here. A hunting knife, an axe, a machete, a chainsaw, a black mask, some black rope, throwing knives. Harry Potter? You're too young for Harry Potter.
Wow, Gerald, our son is so old for his age. He thinks so deeply about the things he asks us for. He's not at all selfish or anything like that. He just asks for the necessities of living.
He did ask for Harry Potter, though.
Oh my God! Oh, should we consider a therapist? Oh, Gerald.
Hey, what you making, buddy?
Blood.
You know, at first I thought our son was insane. Until I realized it's just that he's a genius.
That's so relieving, Gerald.
Doesn't really matter, though.
Yeah.
We're just as crazy as him. We're just as crazy as him. We're just as crazy as him. We're just. Doesn't really matter. Doesn't really matter. Doesn't really matter.
That's so relieving, Gerald. 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 So.
As you may have noticed, young Clyde was quite evil, a small wicked boy with a mind quite primeval. He hated that Santa Claus and he wanted to kill him, his greatest aspiration to be the most sought-after villain. And as Christmas time was just rolling around, now was his chance, he thought with a frown. First he must come up with a great master plan, a plan never to be thought of before, not by any man.
Our boy is a genius.
I wonder what it's all for, though.
brilliant, and all through the mouse, not a creature was stirring, not even the house. And up in his room little Clyde was asleep, as down through the chimney Santa Claus crept. He had to make sure not to make any noise, for he hated the sight of little girls and boys. So he hung up the stockings, some gin for Mummy, some lipstick for Daddy, a plastic container, a few pieces of macaroni. But as he was occupied there with the stockings, little Clyde had come down the stairs without talking. He summoned Snickersnack, and together they peered down the corner at Santa Claus. Then with a sneer he turned round and surprised there was Clyde, a sword in his hand and fire in his eyes. But suddenly a thought came into Clyde's head, a thought that had never occurred to him yet. Maybe Santa Claus was just as evil as him. Maybe Santa Claus was really very quite thin. Maybe Santa Claus really hated little children. Maybe, deep inside, Santa Claus was a villain. And this thought was imprinted upon his small brain, and he never thought of Santa Claus the same way again. So you, dear people, on Christmas night, will you be sound asleep or transfixed with fright? For the great Santa Claus, he is in your house, and he will spare nothing, not even a mouse.